It is time for another update video because I want you guys to know how these projects turn out. I will always let you know exactly how it's turning out through these videos and just answering your questions in the comments when you ask or on Instagram, wherever. I will let you know because I don't care if it works or not. No, I do. I want it to work because it's my stuff, but I'm not trying to sell you perfection. And if you haven't caught on to that by now, you'll get there soon. So first, I will update you on my washer and dryer. I painted them such and such time ago. I painted them the same way I painted my fridge-ish. I used slightly different paint, but they're doing very well. The heat from when they're going doesn't do anything, which I didn't expect it would. They've gotten some good tests to see how they'll hold up. Not on purpose for most of it. If you saw the video, in it you may have remembered that this washer flooded my rooms, surrounding rooms, water, not that much water, but a lot of water. And I don't think I told you in the video because at that point I didn't know it was wrong. But it turned out there are two holes in the wall that you can put a tube into for the water to leave and to go into the pipe to leave the house. It was put into the wrong one, to where one of them had a pipe, one of them did not. And it was just open. I don't know why they wouldn't put a plug over the wrong one, because the wrong one just went straight into the wall with nothing. And so I'm just like flooding water in between these two walls. When we were trying to figure out what was wrong with this, before we realized it was in the wrong hole in the wall, we had this down on the ground, and we tried our best to put towels and stuff down to tamper it and to protect it. But we were like putting it on its side, there were tools around it, and it's fine. Again, with this one, like, I can scratch and it's fine. And so really they just sit in here. The doors are normally closed. They're very protected. So I think it would be hard for these to really get hurt and damaged and scratched, because even like I think if zippers were going up against it and all of that, once you're like taking stuff out, it'd be fine. This is kind of a bonus. It's not about these, but I did the peel and stick tile floors in this room, and those were flooded multiple times as we tried to figure out what was wrong with this. I thought they'd be done for. They're fine. Everything in here is doing just fine. That's my update. If you have any questions about them, let me know. So it's been about a year and a half, give or take, since I did my fridge. And I did an update on this about 6 months ago, and it really hasn't changed a ton. There is a little bit of change. There are two spots on the fridge that are very small, that a tiny bit of the paint has come off. There's one here, one here. There is one spot on the fridge where I don't think anyone would realize if they weren't looking for it, but there is a scratch over here. It's not the paint's fault. It is my fault. So in one of my videos, if you saw it, I made some magnets for my fridge. And one of the things I made was taking a cute bottle cap, putting the magnet on the back, putting it on the fridge. The magnets were very strong, much stronger than they needed to be. So it was easier in my mind to just slide the magnet where I needed it instead of taking it off and putting it back. And you don't want to slide something on your fridge that is metal and sharp. So that's not the paint's fault, that is my fault. And don't do that. Since I have that scratch and these two little marks, at least that's all I've noticed. If I were to get more noticeable ones in the future, I would make a video where I painted over those and kind of patched them with the same paint. And that way we could both find out what that looks like. Because if you can't even tell, then that's great. If you can tell, I don't think you'd be able to tell that much. If it is something you're very, very interested in seeing, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to wait until it's necessary because I'm not bothered by the little bits that are happening right now. That's how this is doing. It's still doing very great. The handles work great. And the paint, except for those few small spots, is doing great. I will say, and I probably say it with like most of my stuff and updating, is that it's just me in this house and I'm not rough and tough on all of my things. So if you have kids and animals, your stuff might take a bit more beating than mine, and I can't tell you what that's gonna be like. I can just tell you that for me, stuff is still holding on. I would still recommend you do it as I did it if you don't know better ways or whatever. Like, the way I did it made me happy and it's holding up pretty well. Hey, some of you might have seen my video where I made this piece of art. Not only did I make the piece of art, I made the canvas, kind of, as well. It's okay. To give you a reminder of what I did, I took smaller canvases that I got from Dollar Tree for cheap, and I glued them together to make one big canvas, because canvases can be expensive, especially the bigger you get. I did the spackling over top and then painted, and I like it. It's not bad because it isn't stick straight and it can bend a little bit because it's individual pieces. Since it's hanging on the wall, it's kind of like bowing out a little bit. And so if you don't have much money at all to do this, this works. I'm sure there are ways to improve upon it. If you can spend a little bit more money on getting an actual just canvas that you don't have to piece together, just one big canvas, that will work better. Not that I thought that this would end up being better than that. I did this as an experiment to see if it was possible. It was nice with this because you can take whatever size little canvas you want, piece as many of them together in any form or fashion, and so you can make one that could be even more fitted to your wall than ones you'd otherwise find. But yes, it will look better and hold together better if it's just one canvas. So if you're trying to save money, this is an option, or you can just look for really good deals on new ones. Or what I've also done is to just find canvases at like some thrift store that are very cheap and it's like ugly art nobody wants, and then you just paint over the art canvas. I think if it were hanging vertically, nope. I think if it were hanging horizontally, there'd be less pressure pulling this forward. And you could have two hooks, and that could help So like physics and all that will change how all this works, and there are probably different ways to hang it that will help. This was just my idea. You take that idea and you run with it and do whatever you want. Last but not least is my bathroom floor, which I also did an update on last time, but now I have an update on the update on the update. There's not a ton to actually update you on, but one, I didn't sweep the floor. If you're looking to get the white paint, you can see dirt in here, which is fine, just sweep the floor. But I decided to be transparent and not clean before I did the video so that you could see it. But my hair is everywhere, plus dirt. The only problems I'm having with it are because of user error and not because of the actual paint. I never went back to fix the spots that I was pretty sure didn't get the final clear coat over it. And that's easy to do because as you're putting it on, it's really hard to see the difference between what has it and what doesn't. And so there's some spots over my whole floor that's just little strips that don't have it. And it's getting more and more noticeable as time goes on because those are the spots that get dirty. The rest of the floor that was done correctly and I didn't miss any spots, looks great, cleans really easily, all of that. So the problem I am having now has nothing to do with the actual paint itself. Just me and the fact that I have now said twice that I was going to fix it, and I never did. I would recommend doing 2 coats of the final layer because you're more likely to hit all the spots. You don't need 2 coats for durability because the places where it's at, where I just did 1 coat, is fine. It would help to do 2 coats so that there's less of a chance that you missed spots. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to have a video very soon of me patching these spots that I missed because I have a little bit of this paint left and the top coat and everything. I've heard that patching it doesn't always look great, so I'll be interested to see how that looks. It'll look better than the dirt that is happening. So my procrastination of making this correct will now help you see what patching this will be like and repainting some of the areas which I wouldn't have been able to show you otherwise. So this whole time I was just looking out for you. You're welcome. Yeah, if you're interested in doing this, keep an eye out for that video. I would imagine soon-ish. I make no promises, but I am eventually going to get this done. Or in my next update video, I will be able to show you how dirty those spots have gotten. If you have any questions about anything that I showed you today or did not show you today, just let me know in the comments or on Instagram, and I'll be happy to update you. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. And everything is different, and people doing the same stuff might still get different outcomes, but it gives you a much better idea. And I'm an open book. I even left my dirty floor. It's been dirtier, but